to this screencast on discussion forums. I'm your host, Mr. Dollins. This screencast is going to be a bit different from the others on this channel. For one, I'm not going to be giving you a step-by-step tutorial about any one application. Instead, consider this screencast more of a tour of 3 applications you can use to encourage discussion in your digital class. You see, encouraging discussion, especially during distance learning, is tough. Colleges have sites like Blackboard, and that has various mileage depending on the college student to whom you speak. For high school students, every application has strengths and weaknesses. Sure, you could use a collaborative Google Doc, but those get quite unwieldy really fast, and students have way too much control over the discussion. How many of you have had kids deleted accidentally, always accidentally, a comment made by a classmate? You can use Google Classroom's question option, but that's for very simple questions, and often it isn't too easy to read the results. There are some really great sites like Kialo, but there are very few school districts that have contracts approving them for use with students. Same goes for sites like Slack. All this is to say that when selecting the best forum to host a discussion, you need to ask yourself a simple question. What is the purpose of my discussion? What would I like to accomplish with this activity? This is backwards mapping 101, but it is absolutely essential when determining which discussion app you want to use. There are 3 apps on which we're going to focus in today's lesson: Padlet, Turnitin, and Socrative. Each of these apps have several uses, but for the sake of this video, we'll focus only on their potential for facilitating discussion activities in an asynchronous digital classroom. So let's get started and take a look at the features of Padlet. Padlet is a tool primarily used for brainstorming and posting ideas in response to a prompt. However, Padlet also provides multiple templates for us to use that can generate group discussion. My favorite is the column template, which allows me to set topics. So here on the Padlet homepage, you can click to make a Padlet, and that is a good place to start. As you can see, you have all of these different templates to choose from. So if you want to set a discussion, some of the best ones to use would be like, for example, a stream. A stream might give you the idea to create a discussion that flows in a particular direction. You also can create a shelf, which allows you to stack things in a series of columns, like I mentioned before. So you have your column, so you can actually put your discussion in this column. So for example, one of the discussion points that I think that we've all been thinking about recently from the teaching perspective is, what is this coronavirus pandemic going to do to the state of education? So if I wanted to create a nice discussion topic for adults and for kids, I could write something along the lines of this. I have my topic. Distance learning will be a positive for education in the United States. I click Save. So now when a student comes in, a student can click on the plus sign and they can add their own argument for or against that. I could then, of course, create another topic for that, or someone else could. And so this gives you control over how you wish to run the discussion board. So if I want to see what it would look like to a person who was going to use it, I could go into this incognito tab, pull it up there, and so now you see I only have the option here to write a response. Now I have something there. So if someone else wanted to come in, they could go and click on this and they could add their response to that, and we could just get a nice little stream here. I could even set this up as 2 columns. This could be the positive column, and over here could be the con column or the negative column. You could set up discussions across the entire wall space here, and then students could respond and reply to one another. In addition to text responses, Padlet offers features that involve being able to do more than just text. So if we add a whole new stream right here, you can see that there are multiple options at the bottom. When you click on the 3 dots, you will see significantly more. So you can actually upload files for commentary. You can link to websites. You can do Google searches and add GIFs and fun stuff like that. You can take photos from your camera or screenshots from your webcam. You can even do filming, and you can do voice recording. And this is an extremely exciting part. So because a lot of our kids are very camera shy, and so if you have them just record their voice, they can even have discussion this way. So there's a lot of really cool things that you can do here with Padlet besides just typing in text that make it an extremely exciting application. So Padlet provides lots of options for discussing a topic in creative ways, but the best part of it is that students don't have to log in with an account. They can join by way of URL, which makes using this site safe and secure. Another discussion tool is the Turnitin program. When most people think of Turnitin, they think of it as a place for you to submit essays and to do plagiarism checks and whatnot. But Turnitin is a full-service classroom. So here, I've created a classroom called the Teacher Workshop. And what you can do when you have this classroom and you click on it from your classroom page is you can select the discussion tab. The discussion tab allows for you to control classroom discussions. This works more like a traditional Blackboard. As you can see, I've already created the topic, distance learning will be a positive for education in the United States. When I open this topic up, you can see I already have a response here from a dummy account that I created. And this individual, me, responded to the topic of distance learning by talking about the negative aspects of it. In this case, issues of equity and access for our families that are in lower socioeconomic tax brackets. So the ease of this is pretty basic. When you go back to your discussion screen, all you have to do is post a new topic. You type in the title of your topic. You determine the start and end date for it. Always keep in mind this end date because it goes to the end of your term, so you have to be more careful about how you want to do that. So we're here in April, so we might want to go until Friday. You get to decide if it's moderated or unmoderated. So, for example, I would make myself the moderator here. And you can decide if you want students to be able to reply anonymously or not. If you are going to allow for anonymous replies, that is a sticky wicket for some people. For some, I think that they might be afraid that they're going to get a Twitter situation on their hands where people are just responding like basement dwellers, trolling each other. It would be very important that if you do allow for anonymity, that you make sure that you are moderating it. If you are not allowing for, if you don't want anonymity, then you could always go unmoderated because you can always tell who said the rotten things. You can, of course, create your topic description. I always suggest that if you're going to have a topic, that you will make sure that you have some sort of stimulus for students to read or watch ahead of time, which will give them some ideas. But of course, it's your topic, so it's up to you and how you want to do that. And then once you're done, you just click submit. And you can see that you now have your second discussion here. All students have to do from their end is go in and click on the link, and it will take them where they want to go. So let's take a look and see what it would look like from a student's point of view. This here is what a student sees when they log in. So they have all of their classes and they have their teachers. So they find the right class, they go in, and once they're in their classroom page, they just click on the discussion, and it will show them what discussions await for them. Then all I have to do is just click the discussion, and then they can respond. So here, you can click on this discussion, click reply to topic, and reply to it. You can also reply to the individual responses. So from both the teacher and the student perspective, this is a fairly easy program to operate. But that's not the only app we're going to take a look at today. The last discussion app we want to look at is Socrative. Socrative is mainly used for formative assessments like quizzes and quick writes, but it has discussion applications as well. As we'll see here, you can engage students in a question meant for discussion, then have them vote on the outcome, which gives a greater sense of how they as a group are looking at the issue as a whole. So take, for example, these students here. So these students have put in their names and submitted their answers. So one by one, each of them are beginning to submit their answer. And as they do so, you, the teacher, are getting their responses in real time. All the answers start popping up on the screen, and then you're ready to start a vote. You can see that the names of all the students are there, so everybody has responded, and then you click Start Vote. Would you like to start it? Absolutely. And then immediately, on the student screen, the student gets an opportunity to read all of the responses. Once they see the responses, they can decide which one they like the best. So they click, and there you go. They click Submit Answer. And then on your screen, you immediately see the responses. You currently see that one vote came from letter D, and so that means that that one is ready to go. Eventually, a number of students will answer, and all of the cream will start to rise to the top, and you'll be ready to know where the students stand on this one. And then that leads to maybe another discussion question now that you know where they're at as a group. Once you're done with everything, you click Finish, and then you decide how you want to get your responses. Do you want the whole class Excel? You can have it emailed, you can download it, or you can save it directly to your Google Drive. So that gives you a lot of opportunities to be able to keep that for further reflection. You can pick maybe responses that you really like and use them for discussions for the next time around. There are all sorts of options here available. Discussions are a vital part of the classroom experience, including the digital classroom. The tools we choose really matter. Padlet is perfect for involving students in a multi-stream discussion that can be had in a variety of ways. Turnitin offers a more traditional platform with its multiple postings and threads. And Socrative gives you a chance to have your students look at each other's comments and vote on the ones they think are the strongest. Regardless of the tool you choose, know that you will have a dynamic discussion opportunity waiting for you. Thank you for hanging in with this video. If you like what you're learning, subscribe to my YouTube channel for updates on future content. Feel free to also leave comments in the thread below. So, until next time, this is Mr. Dollins.